you type in James Harden into Google search, like legacy is one of the first things that's going to come up, because these are the games. Game 6 tonight, if James Harden shows up and knocks out Boston in game 6 for Philly, like this is a legacy game for James Harden. Just like we were saying, like, oh, is this going to alter Tatum's career trajectory tonight if he didn't turn it on in the fourth quarter? And with James Harden, man, like he has to be there in game 7, and he has to have an imprint on the game. He had a couple moments like that big dunk. He had the steal on Brogdon, but there was
Which
never a
real quick,
time
Greg,
where
that was James Harden's second dunk of the season. That was just like he
got
dunked
bad
once in
handle.
October and once tonight. I think it took all his energy out of him. I think that was the last thing I remember him doing. He dunked and then he was spent.
Yeah. And that's kind of like what we've come to expect out of James Harden. This is why I was saying, like, I really hope Tatum is able to, I hope the team is able to get to a game 7, because I didn't want game 6, if we had lost tonight, if Tatum hadn't turned it around, to be the last thing that we think about Jason Tatum going into the offseason. Because, like, I think Jason Tatum is that guy, but if we had lost in game 6 tonight, the whole narrative of this that we are talking about tonight and all offseason would have been, is Jason Tatum really that guy? There's going to be the talk about splitting up Jaylen Brown versus Jason Tatum, all the stuff that we love to talk about as podcast hosts. WEEI would be hitting it. And with James Harden, it's going to be the same stuff. I bet if you go over to the Philly broadcast right now, that's all they're talking about is, where the heck was James Harden tonight? Because Tyrese Maxey showed up. Embiid was okay. He didn't have an MVP-like performance, but he just did it, right? Embiid just did that MVP performance in the last game. So they needed James Harden. Game 7 is really going to define his stint in Philly. If he's able to have a big game, even if they lose and James Harden has a great game, that's going to allow people to talk about James Harden in a way that's a lot more positive than they're probably talking about